Hey everybody, Erick Landon here again. Did you know that the Nintendo DS has a huge variety of JRPGs? Yeah, it has. And I think a lot of them are either really good or really bad. Or just plain mediocre. However, I am about today to present to you 10 JRPGs that are hidden gems, underrated, and all of these games are really good, so you might want to check them out and play them. So stay with me and let's begin. Okay, welcome to my top 10 hidden RPG gems for the Nintendo DS. And number 10 goes for Infinite Space. When I first heard about this game, I was flabbergasted. A JRPG in which you battle with spaceships? That didn't sound too appealing to me though, since I'm not really a fan of mechas, let alone spaceships. But there was one thing that didn't make me turn away this game, and that was the story. It was a very good, intricate plot with a couple of plot twists that only made it better. It was also dark, mysterious, and it leaves you hooked most of the time. That alone was reason enough to withstand the first boring hours of gameplay and a battle system that was not that interesting. However, the originality of this game was what made me put it in my list. Developed by Platinum Games and published by Saga, this is what you could call a space simulator with real-time strategy battles. And yes, you control ships, not characters with swords and magic. Definitely recommend it if you want in on a very powerful story. Number 9 goes to Nostalgia. Nostalgia is a simple JRPG. Many criticize this game precisely because of that and didn't understand that the developers, Red Entertainment and Matrix Software, were actually aiming for a simple game. If you remember the classic Final Fantasies and Dragon Quests, none of them were into dark or deep stories or complicated battle systems and otherworldly gameplays with a huge variety. No sir, they were simple, and so is Nostalgia. So if you're looking for a nice turn-based JRPG, not too demanding and not too addictive, as if you're taking a break from all the aforementioned elements, then you might want to give this game a chance. It's not the game of the year or whatever, but it's a simple, nice idea that you will enjoy merely by playing it. Totally recommend it. Number 8 goes for Glory of Eraqus. This game could have been awesome if not for the poor marketing and a couple of flaws that prevents you from fully enjoying the experience. However, Glory of Eraqus stands on its own and holds its ground pretty well. This turn-based JRPG, developed by an unknown company called Paon, or Paon, has a very innovative battle system and an interesting use of magic. You have the lower screen and the use of the stylus to make your attacks work against your enemies. It's pretty awesome actually. The story and the characters are okay. I admit it's not that great, but the battle system alone is reason enough to enjoy this hidden gem. Also, an interesting piece of information, Glory of Eraqus was actually a series of video games developed by Data East, and this is supposed to be the 6th game, first outside Japan, before the company went bankrupt. Interesting, huh? Next is Magical Star Sign. Are you into cute JRPGs with magical elements, simple stories, and childish atmospheres? Then I totally recommend this really fun game. It's also a turn-based JRPG that centers around a group of students that go around different planets looking for their teacher. Then they get into all sorts of twists and funny discoveries to keep you enthralled with the plot. I'll say this is a perfect JRPG for kids, but any kind of adult might actually enjoy it. The gameplay is very friendly and the battle system strays from complicated assaults. It may not be as simple as Nostalgia or many other games, but it sure lives up to its name and will leave you with a strong satisfaction as a standalone JRPG. Number 6 goes to Luminous Arc. Luminous Arc is not that hidden, I believe, but it's definitely an underrated strategy RPG. My only warning before bragging about how cool this game is, it's that it has a ton of fan service. But if that doesn't bother you, then this might be a great idea for you to get into. Developed by Image Push, Luminous Arc is a beautiful game that combines elements of Final Fantasy Tactics with Disgaea. It has a very good story, likable characters, nice music, and a battle system that it's not too complex for beginners in the genre. There is actually a sequel to this game, which is not as good as the first one in my opinion, but the third and fourth entries in this series, one for the Nintendo DS and the other for the PS Vita, have never left Japan. That sucks, since it's a very nice series. In any case, give this game a chance if you can, cause it's really good. The second is more known across the world, but I think it got less serious and more difficult. Anyway, both games are great. But the first Luminous Arc, is totally a hidden gem. Play it. Number 5 goes to Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey. You already know this amazing franchise and its legendary psychological and dark storylines that delve within each of the titles. Strange Journey is no exception, and I bet it's one of the most unknown, hidden JRPGs of the series. It's a dungeon crawler in first person with a turn-based battle system, and the story, oh my god. If you like any kind of Shin Megami Tensei games, play this one. It's hard though, like pretty much all the games in this great franchise, but it's also very rewarding. It has a ton of personality and it's very absorbing. I mean, the story alone is reason enough to get your hands on this game. You play as a group of characters that belong to a special team working under the United Nations, sent to investigate a space distortion that appears in the Antarctica. Sounds awesome, right? And trust me, it is! Shin Megami Tensei games never disappoint, and pardon me if I am a little too redundant, but if you like them, you cannot miss this JRPG. I'll say it one last time though, it's really hard. Number 4, here's Saga Leviathan Tactics. Now we're getting into the rarest places on the list, and number 4 goes to this very original strategy RPG. It's made by Gung Ho Works and it takes place in Spain. The story is great and, as usual, takes its toll on a war conflict between nations with a twist of family issues. The battle system resembles that of an old-school strategy RPG, but with a very unique part to it. Character leaders are in charge of a small platoon shown during battle, and whenever their turn comes up, you technically attack with all of them. I don't think you will find another battle system such as this, maybe perhaps Idra Union or Suikoden, but those are still terrible examples for the uniqueness of this game. Definitely recommended. Number 3, Rondo of Swords. Some might say this is one of the hardest strategy JRPGs for the Nintendo DS they've ever played, some others don't. I personally found it extremely hard, but also extremely addicting. Rondo of Swords is just one of those games that keep you absorbed for hours, losing over and over again until you find the perfect strategy to beat the missions. This game is great. Everything seems to get along just fine, except maybe for the fact that it's really complicated to grind or level up in this game. That alone could completely ruin the experience for you, so it is highly recommended that you use your head since the very first battles of the game. The story is great and the characters are awesome, the kind of plot that hooks you deeply the more you advance on it. Overall, the gameplay is amazing. This is a hidden gem, a great hidden gem for those looking for a good, decent challenge. But to me, it's just too damn hard. Number 2 goes to Super Robot Taisen OG Saga, Endless Frontier. Yeah, try saying this as fast as you can. Super Robot Taisen OG Saga, Endless Frontier. The names these people choose for their games. However, that is because this particular awesome turn-based JRPG is part of a massive and gigantic series called Super Robot Wars from Bandai Namco and Banpresto, in which most of the games are with mechas. It will take me an entire video to talk about this series, so let me just focus on this amazing game. If you know of it, I'm pretty sure you're either a fan of the franchise or because, like me, you played Project Cross Zone. You see, Haken and Kaguya from that game are two of the main characters of Endless Frontier, and if you play this game you will find extreme similarities between those two. That's because the people who made this game, Monolith Soft, also made Project Cross Zone. Just like Namco vs Capcom, a strategy RPG for the PS2 that sadly never left Japan. But this game, as well as that one, can be considered a precursor of that, of Project Cross Zone. It's got a cool, interesting story, addicting battle system, and, well, a lot of fan service. But the characters are great. After all, it's got Reiji and Xiaomu on it, as well as Cosmos and Telos from Saga. Need I say more? Play this great game. It's amazing. And finally on number 1, Radiant Historia. My favorite JRPG for the Nintendo DS. This game, fortunately, it's not that hidden anymore, but still a little underrated, and it's by far, in my opinion, the best of my list. Developed by Headlock and Atlus, Radiant Historia has one of the most original and amazing stories within a video game that I have ever played. You can go back in time to change the facts and the events of the story through different and alternative timelines, which makes the game offer you a huge variety of elements. Story-wise, the gameplay includes a very original turn-based battle system that allows you to strategize with your characters for a very fun manipulation of turn order and grid positions. The characters in this game are so likable. You will care for them as much as you care for your favorite characters from other video games. It also has an amazing soundtrack. Seriously, the music in this game is as good as many other Final Fantasies or Chrono games. So if you're looking for a strong, solid and serious JRPG, original and unique, Radiant Historia is the best option for you. Seriously, this game is a masterpiece. One of the best JRPGs of all time. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friends. See you next time.